So, here's the thing. Starting your journey in IT support doesn't mean you're just gonna know everything from the beginning. It's about taking those small steps and stacking them day by day. This is day 2 of my Google IT support journey, and I wanna bring you along with me and not just show you exactly what I'm learning, but also show you the feelings behind what I'm learning. If you're just getting started or even thinking about jumping in, you are definitely going to wanna stick around. Welcome back to my series on the Google IT Support Professional Certification. Yesterday, I kicked off with day 1, and today is day 2. Every day, I'm going to be walking you through my journey, the ups, the downs, confusing parts, and the breakthroughs, because let's be honest, tech learning isn't always smooth sailing. Sometimes it's frustrating, sometimes it's exciting, and sometimes it feels like your brain is just overflowing with new information. But that's the beauty of IT. This isn't just about IT support. Whether you're learning coding, networking, or troubleshooting, the principles are the same. One step at a time, today I'll take you through what stood out for me on day 2, how it connects to the real world IT, and what it might mean for anyone just getting started in tech. Now, day 2 felt a little different from day 1. Yesterday was all about kicking things off, figuring out the pace, and getting a feel for what this program is going to be like. Today, though, it started to feel like I was actually stepping into a rhythm. And that's one of the most important things I'm noticing already. Learning IT isn't about pulling an all-nighter and cramming everything into your head. It's about showing up consistently. It's about logging in, doing the work, pausing when something doesn't make sense, and coming back the next day, ready to build on what you already did. Consistency really is the key, and I could already feel much of a difference it makes to simply show up 2 days in a row. So what did I actually learn today? Well, today's focus was on the history of computers, and I have to say, it gave me a whole new appreciation for the field I am stepping into. I went all the way back to Ada Lovelace, often called the world's first programmer. She looked at the machine that most people saw as nothing more than a calculator and realized it could be instructed to do far more than math. That provision, to see possibility where others only saw limits, laid the groundwork for everything that followed. Then there was Alan Turing, a name you can't avoid when you're talking about computing. His theories on computers didn't just solve problems of his time, they defined what it even means to compute. And of course, Margaret Hamilton, whose code was literally mission critical in one of the most famous achievements in human history, landing astronauts on the moon. And what stood out to me most was how every step in history made the next step possible. Ada's vision led to Turing's logic inspired the early machines of the mid-1900s, and Margaret Hamilton proved that software wasn't just support, it was as vital as hardware itself. Without her work, missions would have failed. Learning about these people reminded me that everything I'm learning now, from the basics of IT support to the troubleshooting skills I'll need later, all of it is built on decades, even centuries of people refusing to give up on ideas that seemed impossible. It made me realize that the phone in my pocket, the laptop I'm recording this on, even the cloud services I use every day, exist because people kept stacking progress one discovery at a time. And in a way, my day 2 in this course is part of that same long story. And understanding the history also makes the present feel less intimidating. When you look at the computers today, they feel overwhelming. They're so advanced, so complicated, so interconnected. It's easy to think you'll never really understand them. But when you go back and see how it all started, you realize it was always just one step at a time. Ada wrote notes and theories. Turing designed machines based on logic. Margaret Hamilton wrote code line by line. None of them jumped from zero to genius overnight. They built on what came before them, and that's the exact same process I'm in right now. Of course, not everything about today's lesson was easy. There were moments where the historical concepts felt really abstract. For example, connecting Turing's theoretical ideas to the computer in front of me right now can feel like a big leap. It's like trying to imagine how the foundation of a house looks once the house is already finally built. But instead of seeing that as confusing, I started to look at it as grounding. Because once you understand the foundation, everything else makes more sense. And if you're ever learning tech and it feels overwhelming, just remember that even the greats were figuring things out as they went. What I really took away from day 2 is that IT isn't just about fixing problems in the present, it's part of a much bigger story about human progress. Every time I reset a password or troubleshoot an error, I'm continuing the same tradition that started with people like Lovelace, Turing, and Hamilton, looking at problems, imagining solutions, and making them real. And that perspective makes me proud to be learning this stuff. Even when it feels tough, it makes me realize that even small wins like understanding the path to modern computing matters. So that wraps up day 2 of my Google IT support journey. The biggest thing that I am realizing is that if you stick through it every single day and just complete what you want to complete, you are going to be stacking skills that your future self is going to actually thank you for. If you are going to be learning IT support, anything in tech or coding, don't measure yourself where someone is at their year 5, focus on yourself in your day 1, or I guess day 2 for me, and watch how far you get. In tomorrow's video, I should be getting into my next web dev series website, which you guys will end up seeing the topic in the next episode, which I think is going to be pretty damn cool. Hey, if you made it all the way through, drop a comment that says day 2, just to throw people off a little bit. Well, I guess it wouldn't throw them too off, but just say day 2, that I will know that you're on this journey with me, or at least you watch to the end of the video and pretty much support me. I'll be reading every single one, and I'll be seeing y'all in tomorrow's video, or the day after. I don't really remember. I post like every other day. I keep saying tomorrow, but it's the next day.